comic book blues. Oh, what a surprise, but it's I can't believe my eyes. But I'll find a way to turn this around with a little constant right ground.
Stop doing that. Stop interrupting the show with messages. Where is this retard? So I had this one. I'm looking in the wrong thing. I'm looking in the wrong spot. Man. Okay. So here it is. So again, this goes to the what is a side character, right? Obviously, I have to look up my name. As you can see, I'm looking up Frog Tony on Twitter. And because people like to talk about me without tagging me. I get really mad. I get really sad when I see people talking about me without tagging me. But this gentleman here, Coop de Jour, he's muted. So the only way I could see his tweets is if I look up my name. There's, so this is where it started. Count me muted. So, I don't think you really
understand what a side character is. Just because a side character gets a main story doesn't mean he can't be a side character in another. So let's say Wolverine is in one issue of Deadpool just to have drinks. Wolverine is a side character. You fucking retard! Listen.
Fucking retard! Listen very fucking carefully, okay? When the Rippatards, which you are a part of, are talking about a side character. They're not talking about a particular issue. They're not saying Goodyng is a side character in issue 2 of Iceman. They're saying Goodyng is a side character overall. Okay? The officer, the police sergeant, the chief, whatever the fuck his name is.
Sergeant McDavies.
McDavies is a side character. They're not talking about a particular issue. They're not saying Goodyng is a side character in issue 2 of Iceman. They're saying Goodyng is a side character overall. Okay? The officer, the police sergeant, the chief, whatever the fuck his name is.
Sergeant McDavies.
McDavies is a side character. He moves the plot along, he supports the plots, but he's not what the focus of the story is. Okay? You wouldn't call Spider-Man a side character because he was in Darkhawk #1 as a cameo appearance, right? He's still a main character in the Marvel universe. When you talk about being a side character, you're talking about in the overall scope of the universe. The Rippaverse's overall scope. Alpha Corps is not, they're not side characters because they were side characters in the first issue of Isom. Right? No one went, oh yeah, the reason that Alpha Corps didn't make that much money is because they're side characters. Yaira didn't make that much money, she's a side character. Everyone's a fucking side character? Is Isom the only main character? It's not the Isom verse. Isom is the main character. Yaira and Alpha Corps are main characters. The only reason that this whole idea of a side fucking character is coming up is because Goodyng only made $250,000 as of this recording. Okay? We know that Eric July, and according to the Rippatards, this is gospel, right? If Eric July says something, it's gospel. Every campaign has a $300,000 goal. That's the break-even point, right? Eric July says this is what it takes for me to break even on my comics, and that's before you add in the cost of the fucking animated trailer. Yeah, a side character got an animated trailer to launch his solo comic book. It's a side character, guys. Written by the legendary Mike Barron. He's just throwing everything at this fucking side character. So Eric July is $50,000 short, not including the cost of the trailer, to break even on Goodyng. That's why this whole idea that he's a side character is coming from, because the Rippatards can't handle Eric July's failure. Goodyng failed. Okay, they all claimed that they loved it. They were excited. They can't wait for Goodyng to get his own book, guys. Failure. Is Bloodruth a side character? Because Bloodruth only makes a cameo. She's a supporting character in Isom's story, right?
I think Bloodruth's in like significantly less scenes. I think probably.
Nate says, "Hail, Tony, gotta go." Hail, brother. Goodyng is a main character, says Stimulated, who made side character money. Hence, psych. Super Tizo says it's so mind-numbing. This argument, it is. They're But this guy, so like I said, he is muted. Right? As you can see, muted. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
Jesus
6, 7, 8, 9,
Another enlightened fan. Look at this.
11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18,
Walls and walls of
19, 19 fucking replies before I even found out, because I think this is the one. He's like, name the side character. And remember, Wolverine was a horseman. I've never read this. I've always said I'm not an X-Men fan. I've never read a lot of X-Men comics. So Apocalypse the 12, I have no idea who's in the fucking book. But again, even if Wolverine is a side character in a particular issue, he is not overall a side character. How is this so fucking hard to fucking understand, right? Wizard, am I wrong? Or are these guys just retarded?
Yeah, what they're trying to say is like secondary protagonist, but like to say that Goodyng is a side character, like you said, like that would be Mick Davies, that would be Sanford Williams, that would be Stefania, you know, like that would be like that. They're side characters. Goodyng clearly from the get-go was meant to be helming his own book. They announced him when they announced like Yaira and Bloodroof and all that. So like like I said, he's just because he made less money, which we all knew he was gonna. He all of a sudden now, oh, he's a side character. He's, you know, like if he's helming his own book, he's no longer a side character. That's his reality.
Well, I wouldn't even say that he was a side character, even if he was helming his own book, or even if he didn't.
No.
Because clearly, if like with the Batman and Robin example, Robin is his sidekick. But if Robin is just as important to the story, and the story is focusing on both Batman and Robin, right? If he just shows up like it's all Bruce Wayne, and then Batman and Robin shows up to like punch a few guys and he disappears again, then you would have an argument. But Robin's like there the whole fucking time with Batman, solving the crime, figuring things out, discussing shit, right? Having his Dick Grayson persona do things. He's not a side character. He's just as much a part of the Batman story as Batman, right? It's like Amazing Spider-Man, right?
Jim Gordon's a side character.
The very first issue of Amazing Spider-Man, the Fantastic Four are in that book. Does that mean that they're side characters now? Guys, Fantastic Four are side. They're not even important. Why is people waiting for the Fantastic Four movie to come out? They're side characters. They were in Amazing Spider-Man #1 as just a throwaway, right? They made a little appearance.
They weren't the ones being used as the launching point for every other character. No.
The fucking Incredible Hulk and Namor, all through the 70s, all they did was pop up into other people's books. You were either fighting Namor or the Hulk. They would just show up randomly in Fantastic Four, Spider-Man, Avengers, Captain America, Iron Man, all the books. They would just pop up somewhere. Hey, we need a villain.
We didn't get introduced to Black Panther through the Fantastic Four. No, that didn't happen at all.
Stimulate says he had his own solo subplot in Iceland. Yeah. I mean, obviously he's an important character. He knows a lot of people. It's cope. That's all it is. And they've dragged me into this argument, this coping and seething, right? Because Goodyng just isn't making that much money. Sad. It's fucking sad. I don't want Rippaverse to fail. I want Rippaverse to continue. Right? Because then I can't grift off it. Guys, how am I going to grift if Rippaverse fails? Right?
Well, there's always Yellow Flash.
Oh, you're right. You grift off Yellow Flash. What else is going on here? Man. Stimulated Cynic is just giving it to fucking... Coupe de jour, I see, as my notifications are blowing the fuck up. What else? There was something else. Was it a Sturgis tweet that I wanted to go over?
It was video.
Yeah, we gotta watch that video.